Okay, bonjour. Bonjour. All right, here we are to talk about, let me see if I can get a series of these done at the same time. Let's do plus que parfait. Whoops. I'm going to get my alarm going. Okay, so plus que parfait, this is a very useful compound tense in French. It's to talk about the past, but it's a past action that occurred before another past action had occurred. Okay, so both actions that have occurred have happened in the past, and this one's even further back, so it's like the past year past, the more past. In English, this is called the pluperfect tense, and it's what you had whatevered. Okay, so like I had walked, I had run, I had sang, something that happened before something else had. Okay, so as far as how to form this, it's everything you already know. Like these next couple in a row, we're going to talk about. These three are ones that are just putting together things that you already know. So French 5, the French 5 students who are watching this, you've actually already seen all three of these. And the French 4 students watching this, we actually stopped with plus que parfait in French 3 and we did not get to these two. So those two are going to look new for you, but again, it's just a matter of putting together things we already know. Okay, so again, plus que parfait, or in English, the pluperfect is what had happened. You need a helping verb plus a past participle, just like you did with another compound tense that we know, which is passé composé. Okay, the only difference here is the helping verb. When we did passé composé, the helping verb was the present tense of avoir or être, and with plus que parfait, it's going to be the imperfect of avoir or être. So if my helping verb, gotta get rid of that gap there. My helping verb, let's say it's avoir, then I would do the AVAIS, like j'avais, tu avais, il avait. You can look back and see where I'm getting this from. I'm just taking the new form of ONS, new form minus the ONS plus those AIS endings. Avion, aviez, and avait. So that's my helping verb there. And if I need être as the helping verb, remember that's one of the exceptions in the imperfect. So I would be the j'étais, and tu étais, and il était, and nous étions, and vous, that means the thing, and vous étiez, and ils étaient. Okay. How do you know which one to pick? Guys, it's the same as before. So most verbs are going to use avoir, and the only ones that are going to take être are the ones that came from the Mrs. P.R.D. Vandertramp list, or all reflexive verbs, because all reflexive verbs take être. So if it had a se in front of it, it would also take être. And then what about the past participle? Because you need a second part to this. Guys, the past participle is the exact same past participles that we learned up here. Okay, so your ER ones are still going to become accented E, your RE becomes U, your IR becomes I. All of these irregulars we learned up here are the same irregulars for now the plus que parfait. Okay, everything there is the same. So if I want to say, let's say I'm doing one with avoir and I wanted to say like I had eaten the apple. So like before we went out to lunch yesterday, I had eaten an apple. J'avais mangé une pomme. So again, we went out to lunch yesterday. That happened in the past. But before we even did that, I had done this thing. I had eaten an apple or whatever it was. Okay. It's like tu avais mangé, you had eaten, tu avais mangé, he had eaten. Okay, you'll see that this is basically passé composé, except for this is imparfait and not present tense. So like we had eaten, avions mangé, y'all had eaten, aviez mangé, and then they had eaten, ils avaient mangé. I'm just putting together those two things. This could have been an irregular verb. For example, dear becomes dit. Okay, so I had said that this is what we were going to do. J'avais dit. I had said that before we did something different. Okay, I had said, you had said, whatever. I don't know, you had made the bed before you had even left this morning. So tu avais fait, you had done this. Okay. A lot of times they'll put the word déjà in between these, like you had already made the bed before your mom started yelling. Okay, so a lot of times the word already, just like in English, will get inserted in between there. Tu avais déjà fait this thing before this other thing happened. Okay. So that's the plus que parfait. Okay. Oh, and again, if we were using être, you'd just take any reflexive verb or any Mrs. Pierre du Vandertramp verb. So let's say we're going to use aller. So like I had gone to the store. J'étais allé. I had, whoops, with an S, sorry. J'étais allé. Now, because we're using Mrs. Pierre du Vandertramp, if I'm a girl, I would go ahead and add that extra E on there. All those same rules apply. Okay. So I had gone to the store before it started snowing. Okay, so it started snowing in the past, but I had gone to the store before that even happened. Okay, so that's plus que parfait. And I'm going to try to squeeze all these in together because conditionnel passé, and again, this is new for French 4. Conditionnel passé is what would have whatevered. Okay, well, I would have eaten a snack had I known that dinner wasn't going to be for another 6 hours. Okay, so some kind of condition that could have been met in the past would be would have whatever. The regular conditional is would whatever, like I would eat, but this would be would have eaten, like in the past. Okay, if a certain condition had been met. So same thing. This one needs a helping verb and a past participle. Okay, but this time the helping verb is still avoir and être. But in passé composé, it was the present tense of avoir and être. In plus que parfait, it was the imperfect tense of avoir or être. And in past conditional, it's going to be the, oh, you guessed it, the conditional tense of avoir or être. Okay, so let's say we're using avoir, the conditional of avoir. Remember, you're going to do the future root and the imparfait endings. Okay, so j'aurais, tu aurais, il aurait. Again, future root is AUR each time. Nous aurions, vous auriez, and ils auraient. So that AINT. So that's your helping verb. Would have whatever. Okay, and then if you needed to use être, it was a Mrs. Pierre de Vandertramp verb, or it. I love that I'm making these hand gestures like you can see me. Anyway, Mrs. Pierre de Vandertramp or reflexive. So I need to use être. So remember, être, the conditional future root of être is ser, and your conditional endings are the same up here. So je serai, tu serais, il serait. I'm just typing all these so you could have them accurately in your notes. Nous serions, vous seriez, and il serait. Okay, and then you need the whatevered part of it. You need the past participle, and guess what? Those are all the same. So er accented e, reu, iri, and the irregulars are still the same. So let me pick up a different verb here. Let's do, I don't know, let's do courir becomes couru. Okay, so I would have run if a bear had been chasing me. Okay, so like j'aurais couru. Okay, you would have run if you would have known what was waiting at the finish line or whatever. You get the idea. Okay, this just needs some practice, but as far as how to form it, that should be pretty obvious that we're just taking the helping verb is the conditional of avoir or être, and the past participle is the same as before. Okay, one more time, if I needed to use an être verb, like I would have fallen down the stairs if he wouldn't have caught me. So je serais tombé. And because I'm using a Mrs. Pierre du Vandertramp verb and I'm a girl, I would add on the extra E's. If it were on the plural, I could add on the S's. What would have happened in the past. Okay, well, let's do a reflexive verb just for fun too. So let's say I have the reflexive verb, oh, my favorite one, se raser. So like I would have shaved. All reflexive verbs take être. So je me serais rasé. Okay, and if I just want to leave it as I would have shaved, I'm going to leave it right there. Or I'm going to add an E if I'm a girl. If I would have shaved a particular body part, like je me serais rasé les jambes, just like with passé composé, putting a body part then there means I can't use E's and S's. Okay, so I would have shaved my legs if I had known I had to wear a dress that day or whatever. Okay, do I have time in this video? Yes, I do. I got a couple minutes left, so I'm going to do futur antérieur. So we've talked about what had whatevered, what would have whatevered, and again for French 4, this is new. We didn't get to this last year. Now it's what will have whatevered. Okay, so by the time I finish this video, I will have eaten a bunch of chocolate. Okay, not really. I wish I had some, but I had some Oreos before I started. Okay, but it's what you will have done in the future before something else happens. Yes, I will have prepared that report for you before the end of the day. Will have whatever. Okay. Guess what? You need a helping verb. Guess what? You need a past participle because these are all compound tenses. So you got to have two parts to it. Okay. I'm emphasizing this with my hands, but you can't see that. Guess what? Your helping verb is avoir or être. If you're using avoir, it is going to be the future of avoir or être. So the future of avoir, remember AUR, and then your endings that go with avoir, as you can recall from up here, they were the verb avoir, basically. So j'aurai, tu auras, il aura, I will have whatever, you will have whatever, we will have whatever. Okay, again, I'm just typing these here so that you can fill out your notes accurately. Aurez, and then ils auront. Okay, and then if it was a Mrs. PRD Vandertramp verb, or it was a reflexive verb, your helping verb would have to be être. So remember, in the future, it's ser and the avoir ending. So je serai, I will have fallen down the stairs before the end of the year, or whatever it is, something that will have happened before something else. So tu seras, il sera, he will have whatever. All these have to have a past participle too. Nous serons, vous serez, and il or elles seront. Okay, so that's your helping verb. Your past participle is the same as it was before. So ER is accented E, IR is I, RE is you. There's all those regular ones. Okay, so let's do like I will have finished. Okay, so I will have finished my homework before the end of the weekend. Okay, so that's an avoir verb. So j'aurai, and then IR becomes I will have finished. You will have finished 5 good books before the end of the semester. Tu auras fini. Again, before some point in the future happens, this is what you will have done. Aura fini. He will have finished the dishes before his mother checks. Il aura fini, will have finished. Okay, you get the idea there. And if I'd picked an être verb, let's pick arriver. Okay, so like je serai arrivé, I will have arrived. If I'm a girl, I can put that E on there. Okay, I will have arrived at the scene before you even think about getting there. Je serai arrivé, will have arrived, and so on and so forth. Okay, so those are 3 compound tenses. They're all very similar. It's what you had done. There's my alarm telling me to wrap this up. What you would have done and what you will have, what will have done. Okay, hope that makes sense, and merci, au revoir.